Director of Public Works, and to his left is Robin Broyles, the Chief Building Official. First item on the agenda is a public hearing, variance request V13055, allow a 5.5-foot brick privacy wall in a front yard, 0.62 acres, land lot 521-1191 Powder Springs Street. Raymond Vito. Is Mr. Vito present? Can you step to the podium, please? And for the record, can you state your name?
My name is Raymond Vito.
Okay. And can you tell us about your variance request, please?
Yes, ma'am. We requested a variance to build a brick privacy wall along the east boundary of our house, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. And why do you feel like you need a privacy wall?
Well, if you know, all the trees down there have been cut, and that really significantly impacted the privacy at our home, and we would like to kind of restore some of that if we can by building a privacy wall.
Okay. And did you look at any other options? Because I don't know if you were informed, but the city, we do plan to replant those trees.
Well, yes, I know they're going to replant them, and I'm glad to hear that, actually, but by the time they provide some privacy for us, it'll be a long time. So we did look into possibly doing some landscaping, but we'd have to really dig up a lot of things we've already planted, and it's very expensive, and we're not real happy with the way it would look, quite frankly. We think the wall, which kind of matches an existing wall, would be a really nice addition to the property. Mm-hmm. And we know that this been done in several other places in Smyrna, so we thought, well, it would make sense for us as well.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Vito? Scott, can you kind of talk about the type of trees that you're going to replant right there?
Well, I'd like for community development to answer a question first.
Okay, all right. So any more questions for the applicant?
At this moment, but there will be.
Okay, all right. At this time, we'll have the staff make comments. Joey Stobbs, please.
Joey Stobbs, Planner 1 with Community Development. The applicant at 1191 Powder Springs Street is requesting to build a 5.5-foot brick privacy wall along his road frontage on Powder Springs. This residence has road frontage on Powder Springs Street and Fuller Street. The front of the home faces Fuller Street. Our ordinance limits walls or fences to 4 feet in front yards or homes that have road frontage on both sides. So he would be required to get a variance of 1.5 feet to build this wall there. He would by right be allowed to build a 4-foot wall or fence. As these trees have been cut down, there is significant less privacy that the homeowner did have than they currently have, and we have approved the increase in fence or wall height throughout the city before, so we don't see this as setting a negative precedent. We have notified by signage on the subject property, and the homeowner has notified surrounding properties. We have not heard any feedback, negative or positive, about the request. So through our review of the request, we've recommended approval.
So a 4-foot wall would be fine.
Well,
without variance.
Yes.
Looking at one of the photographs, I assume community development took, there is some sort of semicircular wall. I guess it's figure 2. See that one?
Are you talking about the photograph of the brick wall? Or
It's figure 2. If I can't get my cursor to move up. The figure 2 has a semicircular wall. I'm looking at the site plan that you submitted to us on the.
Actually, the wall. No, let's talk about the site plan, which has a little semicircular wall.
Speaking to the mic, please.
figure 2 of the staff report or figure 2 of the...
I don't know what report I'm on. Let me find it.
Yeah, he's talking about the memo.
I'm using my finger. What report is that?
Yeah, this is the staff report.
Okay.
Okay, so we're on the right document?
Yes.
All right, so figure
Talking about this.
technology. So looking at figure 2, view of subject property.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at a side of a house with a semicircular wall adjacent to a Georgia Power transformer. It's got some bushes in front of it, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yes.
So that is, I assume, is a legal wall. It's 4 foot tall. Correct?
It's either 4 foot tall or attached to the house.
I don't know how high it is, but
Gotta
it's
be
definitely
right there.
legal because you all approved the site plan. House is a new house, so.
I'm not sure. This was built before I was employed with the city.
Okay. Now, you've got anything else? Then I've got a question for the applicant.
I don't have anything further.
Okay. He has a question for you, Mr. Vito.
Okay, yes, sir.
So Joey wasn't sure the answer. I'm looking at figure 2.
Yes, sir.
Is that as reflected in the site plan, which is the last page of the document you have, is that a semicircular wall for privacy?
Actually, it's not semicircular. It's actually straight. The site plan shows it semicircular. That was the original drawing. Frankly, the site plan changed so many times I didn't keep up with it. That is a straight wall. It does have some contours to it, but it's a shaped wall.
So the wall wall you may like to build is going to be similar to that wall.
I'm sorry. Oh, yes. We've included pictures. We'd follow that wall exactly, and it's quite a nice, in my view anyway, a very nice wall. And we would definitely follow it, and it would be same brick, same style, same everything. And I think we included the picture in the drawing, in the plan when I submitted it anyway. Yeah, it's, I don't know does he have this picture?
Yes.
No, I mean, these are questions I'm asking. So why do you need a wall that's 5.5 foot instead of 4 foot?
Well, we are planning to get a pet, and we would like to be able to keep the pet in the yard. And I think 4 foot wall is a little bit low, and the 5.5 foot wall would give us some confidence that the dog couldn't get out.
And you want to, according to your site plan, you want to put that wall right up against the right of way.
Yes, sir.
And it's strictly for privacy, or is it You trying to create a buffer, or what are you trying to create here?
Well, it's privacy. It's decorative. I think it'll be prettier than what's there now. It does keep the car headlights from shining in our windows, which would be nice. It just keep the when we do have a dog, it would allow us to get a dog and keep a dog in the backyard, which would be good. We went through thinking of other options, but this is the option that really makes the most sense to us. It's not the cheapest option, but it's the one that makes the most sense to us.
What's the significance of the existing wall in Figure 2?
Oh, there's a patio there.
It was a, did you say?
There's
It's a patio, sorry.
Oh, it's a patio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Behind it, I
It's
guess.
the wall closest to the street. The patio is just behind there.
Hey, Scott, is there any chance that if this wall is approved and built, that the trees that will be planted there, once the roots start to grow, would they affect the wall in any way?
I mean, there's a possibility of the root system getting to the wall itself. I mean, I just wanted to, I'm just trying to clarify that whether it's 4 foot, 5.5 foot, or whatever, once the trees get to somewhat of a mature stage, and let alone in the wintertime when there's no foliage on the trees themselves, the trees aren't an issue here. There's got to be another significant reason for the wall, which Mr. Vito has told us, there's other reasons for the wall, so the trees really aren't the determining factor here.
Yeah. I know there's been some discussion that this wall could actually create sort of a fort look. So can you kind of address that?
Well, that's an interesting comment. We had never thought about anything like that. It's anything but a fort. I mean, on Halloween, we had people driving through our driveway and walking up all the time. I mean, that's not our intention.
Okay.
If I'm having a hard time with the 5.5 foot when our ordinance will allow 4 foot, and see no significance in a 4.5 in a 5.5 foot. So, I mean, I feel like that's probably what if I do make a recommendation, it's going to be 4 foot versus 5.5 foot.
It probably won't get built. It's not going to be useful for us because a dog can get over it.
You said the house is fairly new. Is this something that, just you guys didn't think about needed when you built the house until the conditions seem to have warranted such?
Well, frankly, we didn't think about it much when we built the house. We really, I think the impetus for it was when the trees got cut down and we started realizing how exposed we were, and that got us thinking about it, actually, and then the process of thinking it through and talking to the landscape people and this and that and the other, and talking to each other, we decided that this would be the best option. And looking around Smyrna for precedents, there are 6 foot walls everywhere in Smyrna, privacy walls. And I'll be glad to tell you where we saw them. We looked around. We don't want to do anything. We don't want to stretch out there too far. We looked at something that would just get, if it were a 6 foot wall, I think it would be, frankly, start looking like a fort. That's not our intention. We do not want that kind of look. I think it's awful, frankly, and there's a lot of them on Atlanta Road, and I don't like the way they look at all. We thought we built something that would suit us, would meet our needs, but was at the minimum height that would essentially meet our needs, keep our dog from getting out, give us some additional privacy, and not be precedent setting. That was the last thing we want to do here.
I think most of the walls you're talking about are representative of subdivision boundary walls, not individual home walls, and that's.
Well, it's people's houses against the road. I hear you, and that, to me, that's a nuance. It's still a person's house, and getting privacy for somebody's backyard is there, and they get the privacy of that wall. I think 5.5 was a good compromise between 4, which won't work, and 6, which I think is too high.
Any other questions?
I probably have one for Mr. Joey.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, are we setting a precedence here, or do you think we've set precedences in the past, especially with my comment with respect that most of these walls that I'm familiar with are boundary walls for, an entire subdivision versus an individual lot or house?
Well, 6 months or so ago, council approved a 6-foot wooden fence in the same issue. So clearly, we're not setting a precedent here. The precedent's already been set. It had landscape buffer in front of it. This will have a landscape buffer in it. So whether
according to this, there is not a landscape.
But the city will be replanting trees. So
we don't put in buffers.
Okay.
So, but I don't know of a 6-foot or a 5.5-foot individual lot decorative brick wall.
So he could do a 6-foot wooden fence would be appropriate, but a 5.5-foot.
Well, a 6-foot will require a variance.
Right, but we've set precedent for that.
I don't know.
We have. 6 months ago, council approved one.
No, I know, but I'm saying I don't know if we've set precedents or not. But that's what I wanted to ask. Are there any other brick walls that you can remember or know of for an individual lot?
No, not out of brick,
Okay.
but out of wooden privacy fence, yes.
Okay. That's all I have.
Any questions? Any other questions? All right. Well, at this time, I would like to entertain a motion, please.
Well, given the case that 4-foot privacy fence is allowed by our ordinance, and seeing that that's allowed, and finding a good explanation as to the need of another 1.5 foot, I want to make a motion to deny variance request V13-055 that would allow a 5.5-foot brick privacy wall in the front yard, 0.62 acres, land lot 521-1191 Powder Spring Street. I'll make that in the motion of a denial.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we deny variance request V13055, allowance of a 5.5-foot brick privacy wall in a front yard, 0.62 acres, land lot 521-1191 Powder Spring Street. Raymond Vito is the applicant. All in favor, please vote. Is the vote? No, we don't see it.
I got nowhere to vote.
All right, those in favor? Oppose? 2-1. Motion passes unanimously. Motion passes 2-1. Thank you.
Right to appeal. He has the right to appeal.
Okay, that's right.
We do have the right to appeal, and
Yes.
we certainly will.
Yeah, well,
A 4-foot wall does not meet our needs, just to be perfectly clear, and I think I explained that very clearly.
Okay.
And a 4-foot wall is completely useless to us, and we
Okay.
will not build it. Now, if it comes to building a 6-foot fence and there's precedence, we're not interested in that either. We want to build something, a very beautiful wall, not the cheapest wall you can imagine, very well put together, and I'm really very disappointed we're being denied. I think we're doing a good thing for Smyrna and for our property and for ourselves, and I'm very disappointed in the action. We will definitely appeal. Thank you.
All right, well, for the record, let me make sure I explain to you, you do have 10 days, 10 business days from today to contact the city clerk's office to appeal to the mayor and council, so.
We will do that.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I
All right,
appreciate
thank
that.
you. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing, variance request V13050, allow reduction of front setback from 35 feet to 27 feet for a front porch addition, 0.25 acres, land lot 416-892 Bank Street. Ruthie Smith is the applicant, and it's my understanding this item wants to be last. Okay. All right. You're Ms. Smith? Okay. All right. At the request of the applicant, we'll make this item last on the agenda. Public hearing, variance request V13051, allow reduction of side setback from 10 feet to 3.8 feet, 0.25 acres, land lot 416-829 Bank Street, Ruthie Smith. This goes with the previous item. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing, variance request V13052, allow new construction on a lot of record below minimum zoning requirements, 0.30 acres, land lot 598-3340 Kathy Lane, 3B Builders. Is the applicant here? Yes. Okay. Can you step to the podium, please? We can deal with them at the same time, but they will be voted on individually.
Okay.
All right. So the first item, if you can talk about that one, please, and state your name for the record.
My name's Brad Thompson.
All right.
The side setback requirement under R20 is 12 feet, and on a 75-foot lot, that pushes a house size to, I think, about 52, 53 feet, I guess. And I actually have a plan that's 54 feet, and I looked long and hard to try to find plans that I could stay within the setbacks, but there are just not that many out there, even at 54. And so to do kind of what I want to do on the first floor, with having a master down, which I think is what this neighborhood or in this particular price point would call for, that's why I'm requesting a side setback reduction from 12 to 10. And then with respect to you want me to deal with the 53 also? Speak to that.
Let me let Joey make comments about this first one, please.
Okay.
On the minimum, the lot of record below minimum requirements. This is an existing lot of record in the C.M. Hamby subdivision that was platted in 1955. This lot is just about 14,000 square feet in lot area, and it is in the R20 zoning district, which requires a lot of 20,000 square feet of lot area. Our zoning ordinance has a section 1208 that requires a variance to build a new construction on a lot of record below minimum requirements. So that is the purpose of this first variance.
Okay. All right. Any questions about this first variance? For the staff? No questions?
No questions.
Okay. All right. If that's the case, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
I will make a motion when we can open this back up. All right, it's back. Thanks. Make a motion to variance request V13-052, allow new construction on a lot of record below minimum zoning requirements to reduce the minimum lot area from 20,000 square feet to 13,957,000 square feet. 0.30 acres, land lot 598, 3340 Kathy Lane be approved.
Second.
Before you do that, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone else that would like to speak regarding this issue? Okay, seeing no one. It's been motioned and properly seconded that we approve variance request V13052, allow new construction on a lot of record below minimum zoning requirement, 0.30 acres, land lot 598, 3340 Kathy Lane, 3B Builders. All in favor, please vote. Please pardon us with our technology. We don't see anything. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Next item, public hearing, variance request V13053, allow reduction of both side setbacks from 12 feet to 10 feet, 0.30 acres, land lot 598, 3340 Kathy Lane, 3B Builders. Mr. Thomas, can you step up to talk about this one, please?
I actually mistakenly talked about this one the first time when I was talking about side setbacks and the floor plan width. But again, I'm trying to build a 54-foot plan, and that is 1 foot beyond what the current setbacks allow. And so I would like to ask for a request down to 10 feet side setbacks.
Okay. All right. Mr. Stobbs, you want to make any comments?
Not really. It's just a side setback reduction from 12 feet to 10 feet on both sides due to the floor plan that the applicant has chosen. This area has, similar side setbacks throughout the area, non-conforming setbacks. So it's really just falling in line with what else is in the neighborhood. So we've recommended approval.
All right. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion if there are any. Are there any questions? None? Okay.
Make a motion that we approve variance request V13-053, allow reduction of both side setbacks from 12 feet to 10 feet, 0.30 acres, land lot 598, 3340 Kathy Lane, 3B Builders.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V13053, allow reduction of both side setbacks from 12 feet to 10 feet, 0.30 acres, land lot 598, 3340 Kathy Lane, 3B Builders. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V13054, allow reduction in driveway length from 22 feet to 17 feet, 0.11 acres, land lot 382, 3534 South Sherwood Road, Arcadia Homes and Neighborhoods. Someone here from Arcadia? Okay. Hello, good morning. Can you please state your name?
Good morning. My name is Clint Walters with Acadia Homes and Neighborhoods.
Okay. And can you tell us about your variance request?
Yes, ma'am. Our sales staff sold what we call our Reynolds plan on Lot 11 in Sherwood Park subdivision at 3534 South Sherwood Road. In going through the building permit process, the permit was denied by staff due to the driveway coming out to 17.5 feet. Because of a zoning condition that states driveway length must be 22 feet from face of building to right-of-way. This is a rear entry home. The alley from which the driveway is off of does not contain a right-of-way. We went down that path, and it was determined that the appropriate course of action would be to come here with a variance request to shorten the driveway from 22 to 17 to accommodate this shorter driveway. Another item to note is on this lot there is a drainage easement on the front of the lot that prevents the house from being pushed forward all the way to the front building setback line. And I think that is all I have, unless you have questions.
Okay. Any questions?
I don't have any.
Is this the only? Does this 20-foot alley? Does it end at that house?
There's one house past this one.
So lot 12 will access their home
Yes, sir.
from the alley?
Yes, sir. That house is already under construction.
What about the lots below it, 10, 9, 8, whatever goes below it? I mean, do you anticipate coming up here time after time after time? Or is this just a hiccup?
No, sir, I don't anticipate coming back. This plan that was sold is deeper than the other plans. If you actually look on our website, it's not available anymore. And if I'd anticipated doing it for every one of them, I would have come once for all of them, not just this particular house.
Okay.
As I said, this is a sold house. I think the homeowner has contacted the city to learn about this process, and I don't know if they're here or not today.
So, I mean, the only issue that we see, or I would see, I guess, is, property owner blocking the alley for lot 12's access, and then it gets into a dispute between property owners. But right now, I just wanted to ensure that, we're taking into consideration those additional lots, and you got the same easement on the front, and you may have the same problem. I hate to see you back up here time after time again.
Yes, sir. I agree. The other plans, I believe I stated, are 58 to 62 in depth. So the deeper ones are still 6 or 7 feet shallower than this one. So it shouldn't come up again, I don't believe.
All right.
And I guess I also put in my application, just because I believe the spirit of the original zoning condition was to keep cars parked in the driveway from blocking the sidewalk or hanging over the street. That some of our most popular cars are less than the 17.5 feet, so you still could have 2 in the carport and 2 in the driveway.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Stobbs, you got any comments?
The applicants requested a driveway reduction from 22 feet to 17 feet. This is a condition of the Sherwood Park zoning conditions. I believe the intent of that is so that cars don't block sidewalks or block public safety vehicles from getting to fires. In this situation, any fire or emergency vehicles would be accessing the home from South Sherwood Road. And this house has driveway access from a rear alley. So we believe there's only one other home beyond this, and there's no sidewalk on the rear alley. There shouldn't be much issue in our analysis. So we recommended approval. The applicant has notified the few homes that have been sold about the variance request. Most of them are still owned by Acadia, I believe. So, yeah, again, we've recommended approval.
Okay. Any questions for the staff? All right. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time.
Thank you for letting me speak, because I wanted to thank Acadia.
State your name, please.
Susie Hammett,
Okay.
prospective buyer.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying about the back, and as far as protecting, in case there was a fire or an emergency. And I can guarantee that I'll be aware, that I can only park 2 cars, because I understood what the variance issue was. Mm-hmm. And in light of that, I still want to buy the house.
Okay.
So thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Seeing no one else, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve variance request V13-054, allow the reduction in driveway length from 22 feet to 17 feet 0.11 acre, land lot 382-3534 South Sherwood Road, Arcadia Homes and Neighborhoods.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V13054, allow reduction in driveway length from 22 feet to 17 feet, 0.11 acres, land lot 382-3534 South Sherwood Road, Arcadia Homes and Neighborhoods. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Next item is a public hearing, privilege license request, LIC 201327, beer and wine package, 540 Concord Road, OHM Enterprises Incorporated, DBA Sidgo Quick Food Mart, with Mr. Papalaya as the agent. Can you please step to the podium, please? And I apologize for mispronouncing your name. Before the record, state your name.
Dhirubhai Pipalia.
Okay, all right. And you're here for a privilege license.
Yes.
Okay. And have you received a copy of the city's alcohol ordinance?
Yes.
All right. And do you understand that ordinance and have you read it?
Yes.
All right. And then what steps do you have in place to make sure that your store does not sell any alcohol to minors?
Okay. Agadi, private company I'm hired. Agadi 3 or 4 years, one violation. I'm working on 15 years over there. The Sidgo.
Okay. Can you repeat that for us, please?
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Chirag.
For the record, state your name, please.
Yeah, Chirag Patel, as per Chuck. I'm the owner of the OHM Enterprise Incorporations.
Okay.
We own the business for 15 years. What I try to tell we have hired one company. I think so. Smyrna City using a couple of times. There was a Scott White Creek. It was the last name. Is a training institute for convenience stores, and we doing the last 2.5 years with them. So he's doing mystery shoppers for us. Mm-hmm. So we do a lot of precaution. We have all the employees got a train from the Scott. We have a certificate. Even though myself and Dhiru people, we went in the one company. His name is Wendy. It was a training institute.
Okay.
For beer and wine. Let me get it. I think so. I submitted these certificates.
Yeah,
so
and that was from 2007?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
And we already also attend, and we frequently training to all the employees, by frequently, every couple of months, and I would just always remind him. And even though I sometimes watch behind him to make sure they have ID or not. And our register systems, is provide any alcohol or cigarettes. They have to put birth date over there.
Okay.
So, and it's recorded. So if you do something wrong, we randomly checked what kind of like we have 10 beer sell today, and randomly we checked what the birth update, and they put it over there. And if not, they ask for ID. We have a video surveillance system, so we will make sure we checked. He's checking the ID, if they have underage, and they're denying it. So we just keep an eye on it.
Okay, all right.
And he's working. We bought these gas stations in 1997.
Okay.
So we're still owner. We are both owners.
Okay.
From 15 years.
All right, and then...
Unfortunately, a couple of years ago, as far as I remember, 2.5, 3 years ago, one of the employees did a mistake. But we're in the probations, for just a couple of days. But from that days, we're using the same company, mm-hmm. and we have 100%, from the Scott approvals, So I always, generally, I'm the owner. Whenever he stopped by, he didn't see anything, but he just called me. There was employees there, and he checked and he denied for that.
Okay.
So we always call, and that's what we just do. day-to-day operations and make sure we're not selling and we're not doing those kind of business. Our businesses. We always want to just make sure. It was at least a 27 years old guys. Or more than 30. Still, we have to ask for ID. It doesn't
Yes.
matter.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would highly recommend that you continue doing that because, as you mentioned, the city of Smyrna did come in and do a sting operation, and you all were
Right.
in violation for selling to an underage minor, and you were put on a 3-year probation. So,
That's correct, ma'am. That's reason, from the day when we had it, we using this company, even though it was a backup. Make sure they do the same thing the city and Cobb County does. So they send you mystery shoppers, and I get a report from that. So
Okay.
I can get your report from him if you want, but we have 100% from last 2 years.
okay, all right.
You indicated that. Try to get your name.
Training institutes for I think so solutions. Scott Wyatrick. It was I think so. He says that he got some couple of training institute for Smyrna City too.
Okay.
You indicated Mr. Pabla is part owner.
Yes.
What percentage do you own,
10%.
sir?
10%.
Said 10%.
What are your daily duties with other than agent applicant, what are your daily duties with the
I'm sorry.
store? What are your daily duties with the store?
He just came every day,
Every day.
7 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and he do all the paperwork and orders and everything he does.
Are you an agent for any
Yes.
other stores?
Yes.
How many?
One store.
Same owner, operator?
Yes.
Where's that store?
On Campbellton Road.
And you understand what a sting is in the city of Smyrna?
I'm sorry.
You understand what a police department sting is in the city of
Yes.
Smyrna? You understand that you're responsible
Yes, sir.
and that the seller of the alcohol, if he's stung, is arrested?
Yes.
And let me tell you, there's other stores, and I'm the part of owner too. Whichever has an agent on it, same thing,
Okay.
Okay. All right. The Smyrna Police Department did do a background investigation, and there was no information that would preclude issuance of this particular license. So with that said, this is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. Seeing no one, I would like to entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion that we approve public hearing public hearing privilege license request LIC 2013-27 beer and wine package for 540 Concord Road, OHM Enterprises Incorporated, doing business as Sitco Quit Food Mart with Diaraba Papiera as agent.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve privilege license request LIC 201327. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Next item is a public hearing variance.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Next item is a public hearing privilege license request LIC 2013-30 beer and liquor pouring 2500 South Cobb Drive, Moo and Jew Corporation, DBA Wings Fiesta with Terry Lee Robertson as the agent. Mr. Robinson, can you state your name for the record, please?
Terry Lee Robertson.
All right. And have you received a copy of the city's alcohol beverages ordinance?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have you read and do you understand that ordinance?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then what steps have you taken to make sure that your store does not sell any alcohol to underage persons?
We make sure that all the servers have the liquor pouring license that are given by the Smyrna Police Department. We also train on a regular basis to check government IDs, photo IDs, make sure they're not only looking at the IDs, but they have actually checked the date.
Okay. All right. And you have taken the responsible alcohol sales class?
Yes, ma'am, that's
All
correct.
right. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
When was that class taken?
It was, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was this last month.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
believe.
What are your responsibilities with this facility?
I just train to make sure. I've been managing in one of the restaurants, so I'll be training the servers to make sure that they know how to spot, fake IDs and everything like that.
I mean, what is your? I mean, you're just a trainer, or
make schedules, and.
Are you a manager?
Yes, sir.
What are your What days and/or hours would you work there? What's your schedule?
I haven't quite worked that out with the owner yet.
And you understand our Smyrna Police Department does things.
Yes, sir.
And anybody caught pouring underage is arrested on the spot, and
Yes,
you're
sir.
responsible for that.
And we do take that very seriously because Wings Fiesta got a 1-year probation on last year. So, we take that very, very seriously.
Yes, ma'am.
What are the hours of operation of the I guess a restaurant? What are their hours of operation?
I believe it's. I'm not sure of that right now.
So you're just a manager there as the owner of the store here? Is the owner here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
please.
For the record, can you please state your name?
My name is Jong Park. I'm the president of Muenju Corporation, doing business as Wings Fiesta.
Your agent that's up for license, do you know any more than he does with respect to what his duties will be at the store or at the restaurant?
Yes. I hired him as a manager. He makes a schedule and he orders the food and beverage, and I ask him to train my employee.
What are the hours of operation of your restaurant?
On the weekend, we open 2 p.m. to 4 a.m. and the weekdays we open 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. and Saturday we close at 3 a.m.
What do you anticipate Mr. Robertson's hours to be at your location?
I'm sorry, would you speak one more time, please?
Do you anticipate Mr. Robertson's, your agent's, work hours to be at your restaurant?
Okay. I have 2 restaurants. One, I want he handle like general manager in my 2 restaurants. So he will work weekend 2 o'clock to 4 a.m. between 8 hours a day.
At this restaurant or at your other restaurant?
This restaurant.
This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. All right, seeing no one, I would like to entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve public hearing privilege license request LIC 2013-30, beer and wine and pouring, 2500 South Cobb Drive, Muenju Corporation, doing business as Wings Fiesta, with Terry Lee Robertson as agent.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve privilege license request LIC 2013-30. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will go back up to the item number variance request V13050, Ruthie Smith. This one is in regards to the reduction of the front setback from 35 feet to 27 feet for a front porch addition. Hi, can you
Yes.
state your name for the record, please?
Bernie Smith.
All right. And can you please tell us about your variance request, please?
We want to put an addition onto the house, and the house is situated on a lot that isn't perpendicular to the street. So the street runs like this, the lot runs like this, and we can't put the addition on with the current setbacks. The house isn't even within the current setbacks as it sets. So the reason for the request is so that we can do an affordable addition to the house.
Okay. All right, any questions for Mr. Smith? All right, well, this time we'll let the staff make comments too at this time.
I believe he was referring to the second variance, but do you want to do the first one first? Or
Yeah, I want to talk about the one related to the front porch.
the front setback reduction is requested from 35 feet to 27 feet. This is a sort of brick block construction house. The front of the home is at 35 feet from the front property line, which is the front setback is 35 feet. So he's requesting a reduction in the setback to add the front porch to the home. They have submitted the elevations, front elevations for the home, and they're very high quality construction, nice architectural details to the front of the home that currently does not exist. So we've recommended approval on that request.
All right, do we have any oppositions from the neighbors?
No, we didn't. We've posted signage, and the applicant has notified all the surrounding residents. We have not received feedback, negative or positive.
All right. Any questions?
No.
All right. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve variance request V13-050, reduction of front yard setback from 35 feet to 27 feet for a front porch addition, 0.25 acres, land lot 416892 Bank Street, Ruthie Smith.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V13050, allow reduction of front setback from 35 feet to 27 feet for a front porch addition, 0.25 acres, land lot 416892 Bank Street. Ruthie Smith is the applicant. All in favor, please vote. All right. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V13051, allow reduction of side setback from 10 feet to 3.8 feet, 0.25 acres, land lot 416892 Bank Street. Ruthie Smith is the applicant. Any questions, Mr. Smith, or comments about this one?
I believe they just
Okay, all right.
they made comments about this request initially.
Earlier, okay.
Yeah. But he explained it well. The home is currently at 4.9 feet from the side setback, which is non-conforming because the setback in the R15 zoning is 10 feet. So basically what they're doing is following that line of the house further back to add a master bedroom, but the property line angles in towards the house on the side. So therefore they need a reduction in the side setback from 10 feet to 3.8 feet. We've recommended approval. Again, we've posted signage. Applicant has notified residents. We do have one condition. The approval of the requested variance shall be conditioned upon the development of the property in substantial compliance with the site plan submitted with the variance application.
Any questions for the staff? Okay. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve variance request V13-051, allow a reduction of side setback from 10 feet to 3.8 feet. 0.25 acres, land lot 416-892 Bank Street, Ruthie Smith, with a condition that the structure be in compliance with the submitted site plan.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V13051, allow reduction of side setback from 10 feet to 3.8 feet, 0.25 acres, land lot 416-892 Bank Street, Ruthie Smith. All in favor, please vote. All right. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Next item is the minutes. Yep. And you know what, Ms. Rivera, I don't know if I did the public hearing for the first item. Okay. I do apologize. So if anyone has any comments, please step to the podium at this time. All right. Seeing no one, I'd like to move on to approval of the minutes for the License and Variance Board for November the 13th, 2013.
Make a motion we approve License and Variance Board minutes of November 13th, 2013.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve the License and Variance Board meeting minutes for November 13th, 2013. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. I would like to declare this meeting adjourned at 10:57 a.m. Wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.